Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. We are pleased to be at the IBANESS Congresses series on economics, business and management in Ohrid, Republic of North Macedonia, October the 14th, the 15th, 2023. We are Viorela Ligia Văidean and Andreea Simina Ardelean, and we proudly represent the Faculty of Economics and Business Administration in Babeș-Bolyai University, Cluj-Napoca, Romania. The title of today's presentation is The Impact of Financial and Economic Crime upon Poverty, a panel data approach. The key concepts we are going to cover today are poverty, social exclusion, and economic and financial crime. Today's agenda starts with a brief literature review. Moving on to data and methods, we present our results and have them discussed, summing up with conclusions. This is an interesting research topic. Our dataset has a regional and recent character, and the theme is extremely interesting, focusing on the impact of financial and economic crime proxied through various variables upon poverty, proxied in itself through various variables as well. Working on a panel data approach. The aim is to analyze the relationship between financial and economic crime and poverty for the EU 27 member states for the 2015-2022 time interval. Now here you have a brief literature review that summarizes the state of the art in the field. These are some specialized works that we read, and further we have sketched the following working hypotheses. Age 1. Increased cleanliness from corruption is related to decreased poverty rates. Age 2. Decreased shadow economy is related to decreased poverty rates. And age 3. Decreased anti-money laundering index is related to decreased poverty rates. This is a brief description of variables. Poverty is proxied through MPOV total pop, which is the notation for the multidimensional poverty of total population, percentage of the population facing simultaneous deprivation in economic and social cultural resources, POV-N, poverty ratio at national poverty lines, AROP, at risk of poverty, and SOEXC, at risk of poverty or social exclusion. Moving on towards the fin-crime proxies, financial and economic crime considers CPI, the Corruption Perception Index offered by Transparency International, SE, the shadow economy, as estimated by Professor Schneider, and the AML, the Anti-Money Laundering Index. Moving on, we have graphically represented the various poverty proxies of the EU 27 member states for the 2015-2020 time interval. MPOV total population, POV-N, the poverty at lines, at risk of poverty, and at risk of poverty and social exclusion for the same studied sample. Moving on towards the determinants of poverty, we have various financial and economic crime proxies, the CPI, the Corruption Perception Index, and its evolution, the shadow economy, SE, and the AML, the anti-money laundering index. These are the summary statistics of our variables. You have the corruption perception index, shadow economy, and anti-money laundering index. And the last 4 lines stand for the poverty proxies we've discussed. This is the correlation matrix of variables of interest. While equation 1 describes our model, we basically want to assess the impact financial and economic crime has upon poverty in country I at time t. We have an unbalanced panel data set and we model poverty for country I in year t as a function of fin crime in country I year t and the residual as well. Insignificant. Summing up, the purpose of our research was to assess the effects of AML index, shadow economy, and cleanliness from corruption upon poverty proxies in the 27 member states of the EU. We have validated the fact that shadow economy exerts a positive impact upon poverty, while CPI exerts a negative impact upon it. We consider that policy measures have to be sketched starting from the determinants of poverty in order to contract its levels to reduce the incidence of poverty rates. The stress should center on improved governing, fewer disparities between members, and reducing economic and financial crime phenomena. As a future research avenue, we consider to extend our determinants and to include control variables. We also consider the use of dummies and the variant of extending our sample. Nonetheless, we might use a different methodological approach as well. Thank you very much for your attention, and it's been a pleasure to participate in the IBANESS Congress Series on Economics, Business and Management, Ohrid, Republic of North Macedonia, October 2023. We'd keep in touch on our email addresses. Many thanks and warmest wishes from Romania. Thank you.